When I met Mitch and Mills back in 2017, I was $1 million in debt, recently divorced, single mother of 3 kids. I'd had to sell my house, my principal place of residence, because I owned a couple of investment properties up north, which had kind of gone south. So, and I silly me kept them after the divorce, thinking that I would be okay because they were earning good money at the time. But that was not to be. The universe had other ideas for me. So yeah, February 2017, it was in a bad way, and I'd moved in with Mum and Dad. Yeah, so yeah, when you've got kids of your own and you had to move back in with your parents, it makes you feel like a failure. I felt worthless. I honestly felt like I could do no right. I wasn't good enough. Very much so, I wasn't good enough. Couldn't teach my kids anything about relationships, about money. Who was I to teach them that sort of stuff? I was no good at that. Look what we were living, back with my parents and no husband. So yeah, so I was feeling pretty low when I went to Mastermind and Money. And when I sat there and I was listening to Mitch, everything he was saying resonated with me. I'd studied science back in uni, and because everything he teaches is science-based, it just all made sense to me. It resonated with me. I was just like, yep, I get it, I understand it. I pretty much signed up straight away for RMY. I thought, part of me was scared, very, very scared, don't get me wrong, because, I was in debt by $1 million and to spend more money on myself, and I didn't know if this was going to work. Is this, was it another scam? Was it another seminar that just leads you to nowhere? I'd been to many of those. So it kind of was the last ditch effort, I guess, in a sense. I had nothing really else to lose. So I did have some shares left, and I was contemplating going bankrupt, approaching the bank, and I thought, well, they're going to take it anyway. So I sold the last of my shares and I signed up to RMY. Best decision I ever made. When I did RMY, I worked with my dad at RMY. I'd always felt unvalued by him, that I wasn't worth even listening to. It was always his way or the highway. My opinion never mattered. That was my perception of it. And the MJB team broke through that perception big time. I came out of RMY just a different person, just realising what I actually had to offer. I hadn't seen it before. It was amazing what they showed me. And it was amazing what I had, how it affected my life and those around me, especially my son. Honestly, I can't thank my dad enough, actually, for who he was growing with me when I was growing up. I felt so negatively towards him for so long, and when I saw what the team showed me in RMY, it just blew my mind. It just blew my mind and changed my life. And I was hooked after that. From then on, I was hooked. I signed up to LIG after that, and again, that came with nerves, and I was, a bubbling mess on his couch in the Balcatta rooms where his offices are. To put forward more money, and I wasn't yet out of debt, was huge. And I remember him saying to me, just do what I tell you to do. Just do the work, put in the hard yards, do the work, and you will get through this and you'll be fine. And he was right. I did everything he told me to do. And I equilibrated going bankrupt. Because because that came with a lot of shame for me. Like, to go bankrupt, you know, no one in my family does that. You always pay back your debts. So that came with a lot of shame. But once I equilibrated and realised it didn't matter. It didn't matter. This is where I needed to be. So be it. And I approached the bank, you know, full intentions to go bankrupt, and going, you know what, if this is my lot and I'm going to accept it, that's fine. I can do this. And because of all the work I'd done and everything I'd done that Mitch had told me to do, the bank came up with another option for me. You know, I didn't even know that option existed. And so, yeah, I found myself at the end of 2017 clear of all my debt, and I didn't have to go bankrupt to do it. And I was just gobsmacked. I was like, how does this work? How does this happen? After LIG, I did STP, and with my experience that I'd had at RMY and the transformation that I'd felt, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a part of this, of everything he was teaching. I wanted to be able to help other people and show them exactly what he showed me. So I also signed up for the equilibrator training. I'm now a student equilibrator. I recently went on a South American trip with MJB seminars. My life has transformed. It's been fantastic. And I still pinch myself. I can't believe, you know, where I am now. I've moved out of my mum and dad's house. I'm in my own house again. I have had multiple pay rises since implementing the wealth principles that they teach you at Mastermind Money. Life is getting better, and it's just knowing what they're teaching you and understanding it and doing the work. It's really so easy. It's really so easy. And it's out there for everyone to take. If you've got the opportunity, take it, honestly, with both hands, as quick as you can. Best thing I ever did. Thanks, guys.